Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Nyvyn by CZT Theresa Fessler. That's how I'm pronouncing it. That's my best guess. I hope it's close. All right. Theresa has some wonderful tangles and really in explorations on her website. You can find a link to this tangle in the description section. Look for where it says for more inspiration from the creator of the tangle. All right. So this one starts off with a row of orbs. I'm going to try this diagonal. I did it in my step out going straight across, but I do want to try it this way, and we'll leave a little, make it so you can see. Yes. All right. Let me make these. Sometimes I just need to tape this down. Make these orbs a tad bigger than I was thinking to do before. Oh, it looks like I'm still going to only fit 4 across. That's all right. Okay. Now, if you have done the tangle Huggins, this first step should be very familiar. If you have not, if you go to I guess the homepage of my channel, click my name or my face below the video, you can search for Huggins, Huggins. It's a wonderful weave type pattern, and and it starts just like this. We're going to use the takeoff and land concept, which is to trace over. We're going to connect these 2 orbs. We're going to go from the outside, that's the takeoff, and then we're going to land by tracing over the outside of the next orb. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. One is, so we're going to connect these 2, skip, connect these 2, same way, and as you go down the row, depending on how long yours is, same thing. And then, because I want to, turn my tile, and same thing on the flip side, but we're connecting the opposite pairs. Okay, and let's just whoop, as if, stay there, as if. Actually, no, I'm not gonna dare. Like, I could probably put a little, well, okay, it'll be a partial of an orb, because if I come down like this, it would probably be, let's just guess, it would be right about here. Okay. I do that because I like to do it. Because it's a challenge. And I don't know. I'm just weird that way. Okay. Now. And that's really the only part that's like Huggins, is just that. All right. Next is we're going to aura these. And, and again, turn your tile if you feel the need. Most times I like to use the natural curve of my hand, right? So you plant your hand down and then you use this. Sometimes it's just, I give up too much of something else in order to do that, so I don't. But today, at least for right this minute, that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to aura. So I'm going to start with this one. And we're auraing the orb too. So coming around here. And of course, make these. Well, no, let me take it back before I've even gotten all of the words out of my mouth. I was going to say you could have this as wide as you wish, but there are some other things going on. So, it's one of those, take a look, get familiar with it. You want to leave a little bit of space in between. Okay, and then these ones are just going to be partials. Like that. Then turn, same thing. And again, you could, did I finish my sentence before? Probably not. I did each side separately. You could do over, under. It's up to you. It's, you do what works best for you. I just like to share the different ideas just because. Okay. And then we're doing, in the same idea, oraing that. Why do I feel like I am pushing down so hard on this? I don't know. All right. Okay. Now we're going to do quite a bit of the hollabow technique. And so this was something that is interesting. And then in looking at Teresa's step out in some of the work, some of it really doesn't matter. And by that, I mean, well, let me just show you. So the first step that we're going to do is, and I had trouble figuring, okay, which direction am I going? So the ones that go up like this, and this is another reason why sometimes, and I think this tangle will work. I didn't test it yet. I'll do it right now. So we're looking at this one up, following this around, and this is kind of like a Celtic knotty type of tangle. What we're going to do is we're going to pretend this is like a ribbon or something. We're going to keep this going through here, and we're going to hollow bow underneath this and hollow bow underneath this. So the first step is taking this, and if you're not familiar with hollow bow, it's a tangle. You can look that one up also. Hollibagh. It's a tangle and a technique. The tangle teaches the technique, and then we use it throughout to draw behind things. So I'm going to air draw. Okay, where would this continue? Because I'm going to have this line come up to here, and I'm going to just stop here. So I'm going to think that would go like this, and I'm mushing those two together sort of. And then this one, same idea. But this is where I personally ran into some trouble. I'm turning my towel so I can... That's not going to help. See, because I could make it like really thick. All right, let me just try. Or, I don't know. Let's just do it like that. Okay. Because sometimes when you have a distance here, it doesn't matter. And that's where I go back and I look close at what the creator of the tangle did when I have stuff like this. And again, sometimes it doesn't matter. And actually looking at it now, okay, that kind of looks like a curve. All right. So going with the ones going up, same idea on both of them. And, it's a try not to belabor it too much. Just do. It all ends up okay in the end. It's all fine. All right, so those ones go up. I have no other room for any other. Although, no, because that would be under. Now, let's try this. I'm going to turn the tile. Wait, let me do this first. Okay, so, because I kept having to look back. And, because we're coming, so it would be this one. Because it was kind of going the opposite direction. So if I did this, yes, okay, it still works. So flipping the tile, perfect. So then it's the same thing, and that's why it's fun to just flip the tile. There are some tangles, as I was going to mention, that don't, just because of the way they're structured, it's not where you can just turn the tile 180 degrees and continue on as if. All right. Now I had another thought with this. Okay, because the next step after this is we're going to do a little, like a muka frond, if you will, or just a partial one. And this depends. Take a look at the gorgeous samples that are alongside of Teresa's step out. Her work is just, it's really neat, and it's inspiring to be able to figure out, and work at these to be able to do them. So what we're going to end up with is this. It was the same thing, as I mentioned, we're hollow bowing this under here. So I'm going to do the outside first, and we're going to come around like an orb. And this is, like I said, this is the tangle, part of the tangle muka is this part. It's kind of like a muka head. It's not even quite a front, although, this whole thing could be. All right. And then same thing on the other sides. Now, what I was about to mention is when we're doing this step, if you felt comfortable, you could, you find this place, do this line, come up here, continue it around, and then come down and finish like this and make that somewhat in one stroke. Because when I like to do, and when I teach hollow bow, because hollow bow is just straight lines, so it's it's like one of those, it's really easy when you're just doing straight lines, right? This is a little different. However, the the point that I make with it is doing it in one thought process. So just want to throw that out there, if that, maybe will help or not, or if you're feeling the urge to do it all in one step, go right ahead. You can do what you do. It's all right. I'll use Allie's hashtag. I do what I want. Okay. So we have this. Then we still have some of these little ends, right, that we haven't done this with. So same thing, but these ones were definitely smaller. And I guess the way to distinguish is, as we're curling this around and it's coming, into the middle, that would be the distinguishing point, that, okay, this is going to be bigger, and then we're going to do these same thing, but we're just, we're just coming over just right in this part. So all the same idea. So from here, let's see, I do like doing these bigger. Like that. And then, then here. So any of these little loose ones that are on the opposite end that we have of what we have done already. And again, I start with the outer, so that way that is touching or coming close to, what we have already, and then coming down. And like this, I just I'm just going to make this little fatter right here, and we'll just make it line up. It's all good. All good. All right, it looks like I can do another one over here. Yes. Oops. Oh, it's all right. I was partly thinking, I could have that touch in there too. It's okay. And then let's see. Then the flip side of that one. You could do this, thinking, this one's going to be like a partial. So there we go. What was I just thinking? I don't remember. Oh, but I do have one here that, let's see. And if we had, okay. So if you like to do this with the partials, or if you would like to try, this is one of the things that I end up having to do is okay, here's this, and then looking, okay, this is what would I be seeing? Because sometimes it's just hard to picture. And it's all right, well, I would have the other part of this curve here, and then this is going to loop down, right? Yeah. And there would be a muka off here. Okay, that's good. And then, boom, boom, is that it? Close enough. All right, now I decided on my version of the step out to add this next step because, but you don't have to. I added it kind of as a step. I'll put optional in there. And that is to fill in this background. Now, of course, if there's a way you need to course correct, fitting into here, and by course correcting, what I mean is, let's see if I can find a place that I want to do it on purpose. Well, like this, I could, because see, this is kind of oblong. So if I wanted to make this a little more rounded instead of oval-ish, I can just, and I call it shaving off a little bit of the shape there, just by using the pen at the very edge and working up till I get it the way I want it. And so that is what I mean by course correcting. So all of these little bits that, are inside, you can do this with. And I am going to, well, actually these bigger ones I could move to the graphic one. Let me do the smaller ones first then. That would only make sense. So while we're doing this, or while I'm doing this, I know, I asked before, and I think a lot of you tangle along with me, which is really, really cool. But if you need to take a finger break, take a finger break. And if you're enjoying this, would love it if you click on the like button. And if you liked it enough to see more, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will tell you about that description section, which I usually say for the end, but if I do it now while we're filling things in, that's good. And I do like to change things up a little bit every now and again. All right, so in that description section, you will find, I already mentioned links to the step outs, and I always do my own version because that's kind of what we were taught to do. and then link to the creator of the Tangle. Actually, I have some ideas on this, and I'll share that in a second. So below those links, you will find my link to my link tree, where it's all my links as it would describe, or as the name suggests. So social media, website, all of that. I'm going to move to the graphic one here, just to fill it in a little faster. And if you don't have a larger nib pen, the graphic one, especially for filling in, is nice. There are larger nibs like the this is an 01, this is a 10, but this isn't necessarily as good for filling in as this the graphic one. There's because it's, I don't know, there's just something about it. This is a little bit softer tip or something. It's not quite a brush pen. It doesn't go to that fine of a tip, but it's just really nice for filling in. So use that. But yeah, so in that description section, feel free to check out any of those links. Let me highlight a couple. If you are interested in class tangling with people live, I will just call it that, because Thursdays I do free sessions. I call it Tangle Time. And it's where this might actually probably be more of a Tough Tangle Tuesday, which is also a free session. That's on the third Tuesday of the month. But on Thursdays, 2 times, 11 a.m., 7 p.m., my time here, Eastern time, I do these sessions. So we could take a tangle like this, say, and we just play with it. I describe it, then Mom and I, work at it. You can work on whatever you want with whatever you want. It's, there's no criteria except to come and have fun and, play with whatever the tangle is at hand. And you decorate it to your heart's content. And like I said, it's just a lot of fun. If you have something like this that's open, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little, like a rounding right here. That's just a little curve line and fill in. So anyway, so I wanted to mention that they're free. Come and join us. I do have other classes that are paid. You can find, the types of classes that I do on my website. Click on the classes link. If you're interested in some of them, great. I have to make sure I have the ones coming up listed on there. But I do know for sure on the other links that are on there, as well as my Facebook page, they're up there. All right. Let us pause on that and let's do some shading. Okay. And, one second. Okay, there. All right. So, for shading on this one, I'm going to start with the over and unders, because it's what makes sense. We want to, here's a thought as I'm just looking at this. Here's a bit of a course corrector you could take. So this, when we did the takeoff and land, right, we're taking off and we're landing, but it's like, well, I have this coming here, but there's no reason why I can't do this. Follow this along so it looks like it's going underneath that section, and then I can just fill that little bit in. Yes. All right. And like I said, just putting some along the straight lines where things go over and where things go under. I could have done, I could still do this side. Same idea. Do this first, come up here, fill in. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't have known that I did that. You would have, man, how do you get those lines just, so? Well, that's how. After the fact course corrections. Oh, and then over here. All right. And then with your tortillon, just spreading it out, into that line. And of course you can go just as far as you want. And again, you don't have to fill in this background. I thought it looked really neat filled in. But if you, for instance, wanted to make these, if you were only working black and white and you wanted, there's another place right there. And you wanted to do, fill in the orbs. I'm like, I can't really fill in the orbs because it's black all the way around it, and you wouldn't see them. So, again, It's your tangle. You decorate it however you wish. And no, I'm not following my own rules for those that watch of the Tortillion, which is to not do this. I would normally want to have the tip of the Tortillion on the graphite on the line or just under the line that I don't want it to go over, but this is so small it doesn't matter. And then, you know, I'm going to do this too because I feel like it needs it with just what's left on the Tortillion, at least at first. Because I always, in these, you know, ends of the muka that are like this, that are real bulbous, I like to add something. Okay. Oh, and let's do this here too. Yeah, like it. Also, could add, well, I'll do it on that side. Sometimes I like to add a little C shape. I don't know, maybe I do it on that. I don't, you know, you ever do something enough and you're just like, I can't remember how I do that. Because you just do it. I think I put it on the other side. It doesn't matter. It just, the little C shape like that kind of makes it, it gives it a little extra dimension. Can also do this on, again, with this, just with the pen, on the little orbs. It's just neat. Just neat. So, that is it. And of course, I mean, there's so many other things you could do. Again, take a look at the For More Inspiration link, because there are some amazing things that Theresa has done with this. Just really, really, really neat. So, hope you enjoyed it. I've mentioned everything. Oh no, except for one, because I did interrupt myself to come back to the current program. I did want to mention that we have an amazing group on Facebook. So if you happen to be on Facebook and want to hang out with, I see another place while I'm doing that, hang out with some tanglers, we would love to have you join us. We have a private group on Facebook. So the link is there. So much nicer. Love course correcting like that. So come and join us. It's a lot of fun. And actually, I think while I'm talking about that, I wanted to do just an aura, but I think I'm going to aura with the graphite and smudge it out while we're talking. Because I'm feeling like it just needs a little something extra. I don't know what. And this usually fits the bill. All right. So again, come and join us on Facebook if you want to be a part of the conversation and extra fun. There are 4 questions that you have to answer in order to gain entry to that group, just so you're aware. And again, you know, check out classes. There's, like I said, other resources that I have on the link tree and fun things. And, oh, there we go. That did it. Oh, love it. All right. So with that, thank you again so much for watching. And I wish you happy tangling.